Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to the video. Today we're going to get started on the Lightning Collection Street Fighter X Power Rangers Morphed Cammy Stinging Crane. I'm not going to put all of that in the title. I'm just going to put Morphed Cammy. So yeah, let's get started with this review. I actually really like this figure a lot. The only thing I don't like is the vest and the way the neck sits. And I've talked about this a few times amongst most of the Hasbro stuff as of late has been dope as hell. But excuse me, with the new neck pegs, which I've talked about several times, and I'm going to talk about it again here, is that when you have too much, let's zoom in this area right below, there's not enough soft inner material to allow that neck joint to move around freely. And because of that, it hinders all the neck articulation. It allows it to sit too low, especially when the helmet is a little bit thicker. I would like to sit a little higher so that it doesn't press up against the vest. Would allow better articulation if it's set about this high. But instead, when you pop it down, it almost seems like it's suffocating that neck area. So that's the one thing that I do not enjoy about the new pegs, but I'm hoping that they find some sort of clear new medium. But in terms of the look and articulation on this figure, I am thoroughly enjoying. So let's get to it. Let's talk about it. And let's stand her straight up. I had her all posed up because I was playing with her beforehand. Lately I've been super busy. So I've been trying to have, I'm always busy, but it's at the point now where I'm not even getting a chance to open up figures. And I'm doing my best to like open stuff up. So now I'm like trying to open up everything every day and like sit on it and enjoy it for what it is. So with Cammy, I've noticed that one thing that I really did like that they did, and I'm reviewing her, not Chun-Li, for the various reasons. I wanted to see if she was going to be taller or smaller than Chun-Li. And she actually does use a slightly smaller body, and that was a big deal for me. Once I get my extra, I'm gonna remove the vest and just do the morphed body alone, because I actually love the look of this looks like if you remove the belt and the vest and add a Cammy head, you'd actually be like in luck to have like a cool alpha like skin for Cammy, and that's really dope, especially on this pinless body. So yeah, so the ponytails are actually on a ball joint as well, which allow movement, right? We can hit our solid T-pose. We have our butterfly joints, which are nice and good, right? We have a bicep swivel. We are double jointed. We have wrist gauntlet articulation, which is really nice. That's always really nice. We have a beautiful swivel joint, right? Then we have that lower ab crunch. That allows for movements. Let's actually get a little bit of focus, right? Our legs, we have the drop down, and then we have the hitting 90-degree angle. We also have seamless joints there. We have our double joint there. We have our boot swivel. We have our generous ankle pivot that is always, for the most part, given out with most Hasbro product, right? And like I said, it just kind of hinders that neck articulation. We are not able to move as well as we'd like. We're pretty much only rotating left and right at this point. But you can actually get some really decent poses out of her. As far as doing, cannon strike or cannon spike, let's take a look. If you want to do like a nice drop kick, we're actually in a very nice position. Well, we can't fix that neck position, which I'm definitely going to have to Dremel out. And as far as a cannon spike, we won't be able to get that really nice ab crunch, but I think we're definitely set in a nice place to do cannon spike, right? Now, in terms of accessories, she's actually come with some very unique stuff, right? So let's get her standing back up before I wear her joints out from doing too much posing. You will get a flight stand. And with this said flight stand, this will allow you to do her quarter circle forward move, which in this case, they gave her an actual, supposed to be a crane, a green crane, which is soft plastic translucent effect, which is actually pretty nice and sits all the ball joint pretty nicely. All right, let me actually pop it on now. Ooh, is mine popping on? Oh, it is. I'm just not putting it down deep enough. There we go. All right, there we go. You will get a, I don't remember the name of this move, but you know how Cammy does the spin maneuver and it goes through projectiles? It's a quarter circle back. No, it's half circle back, and it allows the punch technique. This is that move that kind of added on to, and they gave it a nice little fist effect for it. it slides into the fist. She actually holds it up pretty well. And I believe it's meant for either side, but it's up to you. You decide on how you want to wear it. It reflects light pretty well, and is also made of the same soft green plastic. Next up, we're going to do the cannon spike and cannon drill effect part. This goes onto the foot. There is a tab for it that tabs in just like the rest, or you can put it on top of the stand as well. There is a ball point for the stand. I like this effect. I just wish it was a better placement for it, or that it went in a little deeper. It just sitting there and it being a little heavy for those legs, it's a little tough for me, but it's still a great use of the actual effect that stays true to the character, but a little too heavy. As far as hands, you will get a nice open chop or salute hand. Then you will get an open action hand that fit, rightly so to what Cammy does, and I'm okay with that. Now, like I said, size-wise though, I'm going to show you her next to Chun-Li, and she's slightly smaller than Chun-Li that I remember, but you're going to see it up next as I dig those guys out of bins, and we're going to jump into the size comparison. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Alright guys, now we're going to jump into the size comparison. Add a little light, kind of brighten up the mood, Boxer. Yeah. First, I want to compare it to the SHF Cammy. Not that there's any real relation, but just in case you want to see if her being morphed would be relatable to her SHF counterpart. And I think in some ways, yes, and in other ways, no. Like, she's actually much thicker on the SHF side, and albeit a little bit smaller, but I think it does work in terms of, like, using it for photography's sake. It's not a terrible idea, but obviously, proportion-wise, some things are off. But it's not like you can't finagle that, right? Next up, let's compare to fellow Lightning Collection stuff. So here is Trini as the Ranger swapped, right? So here's Ranger swapped. I got tongue tied. Ranger swapped Trini in her Red Ranger costume. And then I mentioned before about Chun-Li. And like I said, Chun-Li is not much taller, but just tall enough that it works in my opinion. Where she doesn't stand a whole head over her, but just enough that she seems a little bit bigger than Cammy, which I am personally okay with. I needed to be a little bit taller, but I'm okay with where it's at. Next up, if you want to compare to a G.I. Joe Zorana, which I should probably do her review now, because I actually have a good idea for her. I wanted to think of good photo ideas. So here we are with G.I. Joe Zorana. And then on the SHF side, in terms of a female character, here is Kamen Rider 02 Izu version. And I feel like this would be a nice comparison. So here's 02 Izu version. Also super duper tiny, right? Which I love that damn costume. Best girl, best costume. Here we are with Lord Draconius Mahonius Maximonius. Here we are with Morphed Ryu. Let's fix those feet. Nope, he's gonna lean. I don't know why, but he's leaning. Right? Next up, we have let's do a Marvel Legend before I forget. Here we are with a Marvel Legends Black Panther. That silhouette looked super dope there. Here we are with a Valaverse Scarab. Right? In case you wanted to do Morph Special Forces. Right? And last but not least, an SHF Kamen Rider Kuga to round things off, because he's been missing for a few videos. Pop-up video. Bonus. Here we are next to a monster, in case you want your Morph Cammy fighting any sort of Power Rangers related monster. So here we are with Snizzard. But yes, that about rounds that roundup. I'm enjoying it, especially because it's supposed to be an original idea. I would like for a little bit better in terms of that neck stuff, and not everything needs a dragon vest, but I'm totally fine with the redesign that they did for Cammy. It is not a terrible look, but really want some more mobility back into the neck. I'm hoping that is something that comes to fruition, because that padding on the inner part of the neck ball joint is getting to me, that I have to Dremel it every time. It's a lot of work, because I got to make sure I don't destroy it. But yes, overall, I'm enjoying. Thank you all again for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, all of those things. I've been trying to respond more to people as I try to find free time on train rides. But yes, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. And as always, please be good, do good. Drink your water, guys. Later.